You can see here by this animated video how can we extract the DNA. Is it visible to
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Yes, sir.
Look
Yes,
at
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
Listen. Generally, DNA isolation means we have to extract the DNA from sample like your human cell, bacteria cell, any plant tissue. Okay. For example, the cell of your chick. Let us see how we can extract the DNA from it. Here you can see that three basic steps in DNA extraction. First is cell lysis. Cell lysis means breakdown of the cell membrane or cell wall, means breakdown of the covering of cell. Okay, and with a chemical known as lysis
Yes.
buffer. Look at here, and example of some lysis buffer are like this. Sorry, these are the components of the lysis buffer. You learn much more in your higher class. Simply remember, in the first step we have to break the cell membrane by using lysis buffer. Lysis means breakdown. Then next look towards the second. Then what you will do, you have to add this lysis buffer to the sample. Means if you collect the chick cell, then you have to add the lysis buffer into that chick cell sample and incubate at least 30 degrees Celsius to release DNA and protein. Okay, incubate, you have to keep this under 30 degrees Celsius to release DNA and its associated protein. DNA are generally attached with histone protein. Okay, then we have to remove the protein those who are attaching with the DNA. So we have to use one enzyme known as protease. Okay, by using that protease enzyme
Yes.
we can break down the protein to remove the protein from the attached DNA. Now look at here, we have to take such type of centrifuge tube, then we have to centrifuge it, we have to rotate
Yes,
it
sir.
to conduct centrifugation process. Then after the sample which contains the degraded protein and DNA, they can be separated by the process of centrifugation to remove the protein. Okay, all the protein molecules after breakdown they will settle at the bottom and the DNA will float up in here. Okay, and they will form a remarkable layer and that's stable. Then we have to purify the DNA those who were floating in the previous centrifuge tube. Then we have to wash this DNA by what? By one isopropanol and then in ethanol. Two types of alcohol is there. Then we have to wash it with alcohol. Alcohol is a good solvent. So whatever the any other impurities will be present are present with the DNA, they can be removed during the washing of this DNA. This process is called as DNA purification. This is the third step. First by isopropanol, then by ethanol. Then again you have to conduct the centrifugation. Finally, you will get a pellet of DNA. Okay. Next, we have to dry the pellet DNA at 65 degrees Celsius. Then you have to add the ultra pure water. It's very pure water. No impurities should be there. Okay. Then you will get the purified DNA. Then you can analyze what is the structure of your DNA by PCR or DNA gene electrophoresis. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. In your higher class you will learn what is PCR. You can analyze your DNA can be scattered by this method. Okay, you can multiply your DNA number of times. Then Again, you have to perform the DNA gel electrophoresis, during which we can represent your DNA upon a surface, upon a gel paper. What is the gel paper? You will see that one kind of printed like paper, very jelly like paper is there, upon which you can represent your fragments of DNA. So that's all about your DNA extraction and its representation. Now is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We are going to see about
Yes,
the
ma'am. Yes, sir.
structure of mitochondria and its function. Okay, mitochondria is generally present in all, it means in both plant and animal cell. Remember, and the number of
The
mitochondria
cell
depends
in
upon, listen, the number of mitochondria depends upon the performance of a cell. If the cell will perform a large function, then there will be high number of mitochondria, because mitochondria will provide the power to the cell in the form of ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. Look towards your chat box. ATP stands for adenosine
Adenosine
triphosphate.
triphosphate.
Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And hence, like
Yes, sir.
in our room we have the currency, we can use our currency in different purposes. Whenever we require to spend the currency, we can bring the currency from the locker or from the bank or from the ATM. Like this, the mitochondria will stores the energy whatever it will produce in the form of ATP. Then we can use the ATP when our body will need some energy. So the cell which involves a varieties of work or more difficult work, that will possess more number of mitochondria than that of the cell which will perform less activity. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now look
Yes,
at here.
sir.
Mitochondria. Structure. Mitochondria are intracellular organelles found in almost all human cells. Mitochondria are thought to be derived from the aerobic bacteria that invade the proto-eukaryotic cell more than 1 billion years ago.
What it is saying here, that the mitochondria generally seems like the bacteria, okay, without flagella, means without the tail. It was the what scientifical thought that the mitochondria has invaded, that means they have entered into the eukaryotic cell to remain inside there as a parasite. Later on, they have modified into the special organelle which remains present in the cell. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes, that I have said, because mitochondria provides energy to perform different activity during the necessity, and it
So
stores the energy
mitochondria.
for future use. Listen, it stores the energy for future use in the form of ATP. Now ask, what is your problem?
Sir, it's the largest organelle in the cell, animal cell,
Yes, it is the largest organelle of animal cell.
and the second largest organelle in plant cell.
Yes, very good that you have remembered. Now look at here.
And lived in a symbiotic relationship with it.
You know very well what is symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship is the type of relationship.
sir.
Listen, all of you. Symbiotic relationship is the type of relationship in which one partner provides nutrient and another partner provides shelter. Nearly about 1 million years ago, certain kind of bacteria, they have started to live in a symbiotic relationship with the cell. Later on, they have evolved to remain permanently inside the cell and to multiply. Means later on they have increased their number, they have doubled their number by remaining inside the cell, and they have adapted to remain forever inside the cell. They have evolved to remain forever inside the cell as a organelle of a cell. That specialized structure is called as your, now it is called as your what? Mitochondria. Okay.
exchanging energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate for residence. However, mitochondria structure phosphate for residence. However, this endosymbiotic hypothesis is not universally accepted.
But this hypothesis, that means this thought, is not universally accepted still yet. Some scientists are saying no, the mitochondria were present at the beginning of the development of a eukaryotic cell. But some scientists are saying no, the mitochondria has entered from outer source. Previously it was the bacteria. Okay. These are the hypotheses. Wait for a few minutes. Now look at here. You can see here that in case of the human cell, human red blood cell, nearly about 100 to 1000 number of mitochondria is present per cell. Okay. You can see at the central region, there is a notch-like structure. Okay. It seems that there is, here you can see the constriction. It seems that there is no nucleus present at the cytoplasm of this RBC, means red blood cell. Okay, but at the and it's the true fact, at the initial or the younger stage of red blood cell, it possesses nucleus. Later on, that nucleus split into number of pieces. Okay.
So it degrades.
Yes.
Contains on average hundreds to thousands of mitochondria. The exception is mature red blood cells, which rely exclusively on anaerobic metabolism and contain no mitochondria.
Sorry, listen at here. Generally, at the initial stage of RBC or raised all blood cells, they contain 100 to 1000 number of mitochondria. But at the mature stage, the RBC start to lose all its organelle. Okay. Hence, the
Sir,
mature
can you again
RBC.
repeat?
Listen. Generally, the younger RBC or the initial stage of RBC, along with all other blood cells like WBC platelets, they contains 100 to 1000 number of mitochondria per cell. But when only the RBC gets maturity, it loses nearly about all its organelles. Okay. So, in case of mature RBC, you will see no mitochondria, no nucleus, as well as no endoplasmic reticulum. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now look at here.
Although mitochondria were originally represented as individual isolated organelles, it is now recognized that mitochondria form a dynamic connected network, also called a reticulum or syncytium.
You can see here that inside the mitochondria is a double membrane bounded structure. Its outer membrane look at here, its outer membrane is somehow not much more folded, but the inner membrane, it is folded much more. Okay, and they forms a finger like projection towards the matrix of mitochondria. This one is the matrix or fluid of this mitochondria. The inner membrane forms a finger like structure. You can see number of finger like structures towards the matrix, and that finger like structure is called as crista, crista. You can see during the course of video. And it also contains the DNA inside it. It contains its own DNA and ribosome inside it. As you know, DNA and ribosome, they all controls the cell activity. Though mitochondria contains all its DNA and ribosome, we can say the mitochondria can also prepare its own protein. Ribosome is present means it can prepare its own required protein. Hence, mitochondria is also called as the semi-autonomous organelle of the cell. Semi-autonomous organelle of the cell, because partiality depends upon the DNA present in nucleus, but it contains its own DNA as well as ribosome also. Let us see all these
connected
things.
network, also called a reticulum or syncytium. Mitochondria have four main compartments. The outer membrane, which is permeable to certain ions and small molecules.
The four main parts of mitochondria you have to see here. This one is the outer membrane, which is permeable, means which can allow nearly about different kinds of ions and small molecules like water molecules, okay, to pass through it.
The intermembrane space, which
Now you can see the space present in between these two membranes is called as the intermembrane space or intermembranous space. Okay,
has a composition similar to that of cytosol,
and that intermembrane space is filled up with the fluid which is present in the cytoplasm. Okay, remember the fluid of cytoplasm is called as cytosol. Okay, the water content of the cytoplasm is called as cytosol. Including cytosol, all the organelles and some nutrients, some enzymes, etc. are present in the cytoplasm. That forms whole the cytoplasm. Okay, or simply can say cytosol plus organelle will form the cytoplasm. Okay, is it clear? If you extract all the organelle from cytoplasm, you will have the cytosol. Is it clear to everyone? So, whatever the composition of cytosol present in cell, the intermembrane space, that means the space present in between these two membrane of mitochondria, contains that similar cytosol or similar composition
the
of
inner
cytosol.
membrane in which are found the respiratory chain proteins. The inner membrane is folded into multiple cristae, allowing for a large surface area.
So look at here, the inner membrane contains, simply you have to remember, inner membrane contains the proteins. Okay, certain kind of proteins that are associated with respiration. That means these proteins generally involves in conversion of nutrient to produce energy. Which nutrients generally are energy rich nutrient? Write in the chat box. Let me see how many among of you know which nutrients are energy resource. That means we are using this nutrient for our energy purpose.
Sir, please repeat the question.
Write down. Which nutrient we can use as energy resource out of all these nutrient. That means three types of, yes, very good, from Prabhachana. No area. Write in the chat box.
Sir, please repeat the question.
Which are the energy rich nutrients? Very good, Pravachana. Snehasri, very good. Let me see how many among of you will respond. Be quick. Salonisa, very good. Palakdas, very good. Niharika, Swami, very good. Jiban Vina, very good. Shruti Bhagya, very good. Sai Jasasvi, very good. Salendri, Varsha Priyadarshini, Sneha, Pralita, very good. Okay, Rajasri, Dipanjali, Susri Janam, BLS, Jiban Vina. No, it's not protein. Prarthana, not protein. Sandra Patnaik, very good. Sailendra, very good. So here you can see that the carbohydrate and fat are the two energy rich resource. Okay, Arya, lipid also. Now all of you look at here. So when these energy nutrients after digestion will absorb and reach to the cell for assimilation, they will convert here to produce what? They will convert here, or they will oxidize here in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy that we have learned during respiration chapter of standard 7. So energy formation is occurring at here. Okay, at where? At the, mute yourself, at the inner membrane. And to increase such energy forming activity, we have to increase the surface area. Hence, the inner membrane is folded multiple times to form the crista. Look at here, crista, crista. Okay, these finger-like structures are called as crista.
The matrix, or the inner part of the mitochondrion, where most of the metabolic reactions take place.
And here you can see that this one is the matrix, means the fluid content of the
Cytoplasm.
No. Cytoplasm is the fluid of cell, but this fluid or
Mitochondria.
matrix of, or this medium of mitochondria is called as matrix, in which most of the metabolic reactions occur.
The mitochondrial DNA is found within DNA protein complexes called nucleoids.
You can see here that the mitochondrial DNA is also present, as well as protein is also present. And when the mitochondrial DNA along with protein will associate together, they will form the nucleus.
In the mitochondrial matrix. Function. Mitochondria are intracellular organelles
function of mitochondria.
that are essential for aerobic metabolism and energy production through oxidative phosphorylation,
You have to take
which
the
is
screenshots to
accomplished
write.
by the respiratory chain.
Generally, they are very most important for aerobic metabolism, means in which oxygen is utilized. Then energy production through oxidative phosphorylation, means in which inside the inside the mitochondria, your energy production occurs by oxidative phosphorylation, or simply you have to remember by aerobic respiration. According to your level, simply remember energy production occurs through aerobic respiration, and oxidative phosphorylation is the one phase of that respiration.
However,
Later on you will learn in your
mitochondria are
higher
not
class.
only the ATP producing
Yes,
Sir, what is phosphorylation?
what I said, oxidative phosphorylation is a phase
Sir,
of,
is it a chemical formula name?
it is a name of one process. It is a stage of aerobic respiration. These
Thank you,
all
sir.
things you will learn in your higher class. Simply we are learning about the respiration. During aerobic respiration, oxygen is utilized to convert carbohydrate into their respective products along with energy. And this aerobic respiration contains different phases. Out of these, oxidative phosphorylation is one phase that occurs at here. Okay, that means in the mitochondria. Okay. Yes. Ask.
So can we say it as oxidation phosphorylation?
No, 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 no. You have to write, you don't have to write oxidative phosphorylation. You have to write energy production occurs by aerobic respiration. Okay, simply have to write only this much.
Okay, sir.
Using powerhouses of the cell.
It
Mitochondria are
produces
involved in
ATP, okay, which is called as the energy currency of the
several
cell.
other metabolic pathways, including beta oxidation, the
Left
Krebs
that. These
cycle,
all are not
and the
belongs to
synthesis
your
of iron
level.
sulfur clusters. Transcribe their own DNA and
Okay,
translate mRNA.
you have to write this point, fourth point, or you simply have to write it contains its own DNA and write it down. It contains its own DNA and ribosome to produce its own protein. Write down, it contains its own DNA and ribosome to produce its own protein. Full stop.
Yes, sir.
Hence, it is called as semi-autonomous organelle of the cell. For few activity, it depends upon the DNA present in nucleus, but it can manage itself. So it is called as the semi-autonomous organelle of the cell.
So it's known as the semi.
Autonomous organelle.
RNA into protein. The import and assembly of proteins that work
This
is
much only
also a
have to
function
remember.
of the mitochondria. Production of reactive oxygen species and immunity have been described.
Now let us move towards the plastid. Okay. Generally, plastids are found in plant cells. So when we will consider
Chloroplasts.
the plastid, we can see here we can see that generally plastids are of three types.
Three
One
types.
is
Sir, can I
chloroplast.
say?
Chloroplast,
Chromoplast, leucoplast.
Very good.
chromoplast.
Sir,
Generally,
chloroplast is green in color.
yes, very good. And chromoplast provides the different color to the plant parts, whereas the leucoplast is colorless, or somehow we can consider it as the white colored plastids. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, the chloroplast involves in photosynthesis, whereas chromoplast provides different color to the different colorful part of the plants like flower, whereas the leucoplast involves in storage of food. Okay, but in this lesson you will simply see the structure and function of chloroplast. Now let us look at here.
Structure. At the end of this module, you will be able to describe the chloroplasts are membrane-bound organelles that act as
These
the
are
main
also double
centers for
membrane bounded
photosynthesis.
organelles. Their main function is they will perform the function of photosynthesis. Okay. Now look at here.
Yes, sir.
If you cut this part of chloroplast, you will see that number of such coin-like structures are present. They are studded in a stalk-like form, and each coin-like structure is called as thylakoid. Okay. Then such
Sir, please say what is that?
thylakoid,
Hylakoid.
Thank you, sir.
THYLAKOID. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, it will better to show you. Look at here. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Look at here.
Yes, sir.
This part is called as, this individual structure is called as thylakoid.
Sir,
Which is the coin,
thylakoid.
yes, which is known as the coin like structure. And when they are studied to form the stalk, this stalk is called as your granum. Okay, each stalk is called as granum, and the plural of granum is grana. That means number of grana are present inside the chloroplast, and the fluid content here you can see this inside the double membrane. The inner fluid content is called as stroma of the cell. Stroma is the matrix of chloroplast. Sorry, not the cell. Stroma is known as the matrix of chloroplast. Is it clear to everyone? And this one is the outer
Yes,
membrane.
sir.
It is the outer membrane, and here you have the this one. Okay, this one is the outer membrane, and here you have the intermembrane or inner membrane, and in between these two you have your what? Intermembrane space, like the mitochondria. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And when we will see towards the thylakoid, when we will see the individual thylakoid, okay, look at here. When we will see this individual thylakoid, we can see at here the membrane of thylakoid, okay, generally possesses the green color pigment, which is called as the chlorophyll. These green color pigments are present where? These are generally actually present at where? At the membrane of thylakoid, which is known as chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is the green color pigment which is found at the membrane of thylakoid of granum, present inside stroma of chloroplast. Is it clear? Where is your green color pigment is present?
Yes, sir, clear.
Very good. Now look towards the chloroplast again.
Sir, can you please
Look
bring
towards
that
here.
again?
Again, look at here. The chlorophyll is the green color pigment. It is present in the membrane of thylakoid. Thylakoid is present in the stalk of granum. Then number of grana are present inside stroma of chloroplast.
No, sir. Sir, I'm telling to minimize it. I want to take the screenshot.
Okay, fine. It is not moving. Look at here.
Yes, sir.
Now you can see such type of organisms. They can also contain the chloroplast in it, like the Chlamydomonas pyrogyra, and in case of some higher green plants, the chloroplast are present, which generally provides the green color to the plant. Okay, so all the green parts of the plants are generally contains the chloroplast, and if you see the size, it generally ranges from 4 to 5
4 to 5
micrometer. Okay, generally the plants growing in,
micrometer.
yes, the plants growing in shade region contains larger chloroplast in their cells than those growing in intense light, means much more brighter light. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and there are different types of chloroplast are found in different types of organism. Now look at here the ultrastructure of chloroplast. When you will enter into the plant cell, you can see here that when you will enter, this one is the plant cell, and here this brown color is your cell wall, and this green color structure is your chloroplast. Here the red color structure is the mitochondria. Here this violet color structure is your vacuole, and these red dots are your ribosome. Okay, then this one is the endoplasmic reticulum, and here is the nucleus, and here you have the nucleolus. Here this one is the Golgi body. Here you can see these are the splitted mitochondria, sorry, your chloroplast. Now let us zoom it out the chloroplast. Let us have a look toward the chloroplast. You can see here the chloroplast envelope means chloroplast covering. It is 2 in number. One is outer membrane, which is permeable to water and some ions, and then it contains one inner membrane that we have discussed, and the space between these two membrane is called as intermembrane space, and few amount of sugar molecules can also enter through the inner membrane, and they are even present in the matrix of chloroplast known as the stroma of chloroplast. That means some few sugar molecules are found in stroma of chloroplast. And chloroplast also contains its own DNA as well as ribosomes like our mitochondria. Hence, it can prepare its own protein. So, chloroplast is also known as another semi-autonomous organelle of the cell. You can see the fluid part of the chloroplast is called as stroma, or stroma is the matrix of chloroplast. It contains its enzyme, its own DNA, and its ribosome also. It can prepare its own RNA by containing its own ribosome, plastic DNA, and enzyme. It can prepare its own RNA. So it is also known as the semi-autonomous organelle of the cell. You can see the coin-like structure are called as what? Thylakoid, and they are studded upon each other to form the what? Grana. You can see the intermembrane space is present in between the two layers of mitochondria. Grana is the plural form of granum. You can see the thylakoid lumen means the coin-like structure is actually not very dense. It is what? Like this. Okay, and they have the thylakoid lumen, means they have the gap. This gap is called as lumen, and the membrane contains your chlorophyll, means your colored pigment. Generally it contains the green color pigment, that is chlorophyll. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
its
sir.
individual it is called as granum, its plural is grana. Okay,
Sir,
now you can see here that each grana, yes,
sir, what is the network-like structure called?
what is the,
Network-like structures.
what you are saying, it's not audible properly.
Sir, what
Sir,
is
she is
the
asking that what's the network structure?
between the thylakoid?
You both are saying again repeat.
Sir, what is the network-like structure between the two thylakoids?
Look at here. It is called as the integranal lamella. Here it is. Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
It's the integranal lamella. Okay. You have to take the
What is the
screenshot so that you can write later on, and you have to do the diagram later on, both the mitochondria as well as plastic. Here you have to do the diagram of chloroplast only. Now let us have a look. Here you can see this one is the integrated lamella, and this one is the thylakoid, and here it is the thylakoid lumen, and here you have your chlorophyll in the membrane of thylakoid. Okay, and at that place your photosynthesis occurs. Okay, there are different protein complexes are also there. You'll learn much more in your higher class, and generally you remember that chloroplast involves in photosynthesis because it contains chlorophyll in its thylakoid lumen that absorbs the solar radiation to make the food from water, carbon dioxide. Okay, and yes, water, carbon dioxide, and few enzymes are also necessary. So that's all about the chloroplast structure as well as its function. So I hope that you all will read properly, and if you
Yes,
need
sir.
this video, it will be also available in YouTube. So try to.
Sir, chloroplast structure.
This one is the structure as well as function of chloroplast. Now your chapter is over. Try to do the diagram in level form